and welcome to Fading Suns Thursday. I am JM, your GM, and with me is the crew of the Oh Boy. We're coming back here 3 episodes to the finale, including this one. So this one and 2 more. When we last left off, the crew of the Oh Boy had, they celebrated a wedding, a long overdue wedding of Calypso, the captain of the Oh Boy, and Gregor, the first mate of the Oh Boy, and made it to Ravenna, where they touched down, started gathering allies, discovered that there is a certain captain of a certain battle order vessel who is prepared to aid them in their attack on the jump gate at Milan Station. And we ended last session, which was 2 weeks ago because of Thanksgiving last week in the US, with the group arriving at a dilapidated old hotel on Ravenna, with Francesco walking down the stairs saying that there was much to talk about. So that's where we're going to pick up when you guys get into the room. You are not so much patted down for weapons, but you were taken through weapon scanners, and Francesco seems to kind of nod as each of you passes through, kind of looks at a small display. Yes, good. You are trusting no one. I am glad to see you are finally learning how this universe works. And as you get to the door, several of the guards that are there that are wearing advanced tactical gear, but no house logos on them, kind of hold up their hand, and to Gemma's eyes, they definitely have the bearing not of the battle order, but of one of the orders of knights, maybe affiliated with the church, maybe affiliated with the noble house, but they don't seem, they kind of, like after Jexa, Gemma, and Val pass, they kind of hold up their hand to Calypso and Gregor. And Francesco says, yes, I do apologize, but there are things that are best left only to the ears we were born with, if you understand. So please enjoy any of the other rooms in this hotel. I do hear it's your honeymoon, so you know, bounce along.
Jessica kind of is like, wait, didn't they honeymoon already?
When you are older, you will understand that the honeymoon period can last, as long as... You see, Jexa, when a man and a woman, technically it could be a...
Wait,
Gemma
what?
will explain. Gemma will explain.
I think your explanation would be very interesting to hear.
I think we have much more important things to discuss as opposed to the proverbial firebirds and the star bees. So if you would please...
Hold on a second. You mean to tell me that a spy, a mastermind of some sort, can't explain the birds and the bees to a 17-year-old?
Well, please, there are things rushing towards events of conclusions. We should be speaking of these and not of...
ruffled shirts and hampers?
Exactly. And sometimes it is 2 ruffled shirts, and sometimes it is 2 hampers. But that is neither here nor there.
Fair enough.
Occam's Razor, if you write the Covert Ops, Metal Gear Solid, Frank Snake sort of rescue mission, I will read it on screen, start to finish, as long as it is PG-13.
PG-13. Oh, okay.
I can just see it now. Frank in a little cardboard box, dropping down from catwalks, snapping the necks of guards who are holding Octavius. Octavius just sitting and drooling, not really realizing what was going on for the last several months.
That sounds about right. Yep.
So, I mean, assuming you want whatever help the unnamed parties that I represent bring us to the table.
I mean, we'll hear what you have to say.
Excellent. And I would hear what you have to say. There are many rumors running around that you are a saint, that Val is a mass murderer, that Jackson thinks she can fly the ship. I mean, all of these are wild rumors. That,
I can fly the ship. I don't just think I can.
Sure. I understand. And I am technically the Duke of several planets, but I mean, who's actually can verify these things? They are a mystery to the world.
Okay. Lead on.
He turns around and takes a step into the next room. We are here. Please have a seat at the table. There is some nice breviary over there if you would like to have anything to drink, and we can sit. We can, what is the appropriate vernacular? And he slips kind of into a drawl. We can palaver and discuss the things that we need to. So, what is this that you are planning on doing? I hear a fleet is being assembled, blades of light against shields of darkness, something about skimming a... There have been a lot of squawks about exiting a black hole.
So, you have our ship bugged?
Listen, Jaxa, as in everything, words can hurt.
Uh-huh.
I am not some petty data miner who is out there planting bugs on people's ships. I had
So you're
someone
just-
else bug your ship, yes.
Okay.
Why?
Sure, because
I'm sorry.
we're
I'm
interested.
Francesco. Spy Master to the Duchess Hawkwood of Lemminkainen.
Great.
Okay.
So you called us here to tell us that you know what we're doing?
To more ask you exactly what you are doing and if it aligns with the plans of, let's call her Figure A for right now.
And if Figure A approves of our plans, she will aid us. And if she does not, you will stop us?
No. I will not stop you, just like I did not bug your ship.
You will get somebody to stop us.
So what is our incentive to tell you?
It's a great question.
Did I not aid you on Lemminkainen? Did I not help you at Hadrian's Wall? Do I not generally see the virtue in the actions that you are taking? I just like to be the most informed man on the planet. And let us just say that after the events that ended on Lemminkainen with a
Bang?
a true servant of the Duchess being found the way he was, a good friend of mine from my younger days. Let us just say that both the Duchess and Figure A and I would like to know what happened and what will be being done about what happened, and also how does this factor into the events that are currently going around in the space around Milan Station.
Well, I kind of look to the two women standing on either side of me. One who I have a feeling has a scowl on her face. That would be Val, in case anybody was curious.
Yep.
And
Pronounced
Gemma.
Val, Becca, not scowl.
Are we sure?
I'm not entirely, but I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt. It is what it says on the screen. So.
And Gemma just kind of staring steely-eyed at Francesco and clearly not wanting to say anything. I'll kind of... Is there another chair sitting like across from him at the desk?
There's no desk. It's actually like a banquet, like a table. There's some like cheeses laid out.
Well, then I will sit down.
Gemma. There is several decanters of wine, a couple of large clusters of grapes. You can see something came through here at some point long ago. There are holes in the wall. Things are stained. It looks like there might have been a shootout here at some point.
Probably with some husks. I will sit down. I will pour myself a nice cup of wine and take some cheese and grapes. And when Gemma takes away my wine, I will just nibble on my grapes angrily instead. And go over at him and say, well, so you know what happened in Lemminkainen.
I know the fallout of what happened in Lemminkainen. I do not know the series of events that led from me not having to offer the Duchess my neck, the death of Belkosis Fedor.
Okay. Belkosis was killed by someone possessed by a demon, from what we understand. If you want to join the war party to avenge him, Lucia Van Dorm is probably taking applications.
The lady and I go back.
We were involved with getting rid of Count Orleton at the time. And so we unfortunately were not nearby or close enough when he died.
Do you know who, if there is a hunt, then there is prey?
I don't know any other specifics about that.
You don't know any other specifics relating to the death of Van Dorn?
No one has shared any other specifics with me, so no, I do not.
You should leave the lying to the professionals like me and Val.
Okay.
I have heard rumors. I was hoping this would be a open meeting, putting all of our cards on the table.
So far, seems like we're showing a lot of ours, and you aren't showing many of yours.
You'll have to excuse me. I'm a little unfamiliar with this process in present company. You know that the woman I work for, and the persons that have opposed you traditionally fall on opposite sides of house lines. The Pax Alexi technically prevents any large-scale house conflicts.
So, what about what's going on at Hargard right now?
That is interesting, is it not? Technically, that falls under the Imperial province, as does the gathering of forces that we have seen, or have been reportedly seen, near Milan Station. If my lady were to offer, say, 5 or 6 of her ships to aid in whatever you had planned, hypothetically, she could be brought under censure by the Imperial Court. Unless, of course, the Emperor or one of the members of the Imperial Court gave her special dispensation to censor what is going on with the houses in Milan and on Hargard. But that would require weeks, if not months, of communication. Part of the problem with the Imperium is how slow things take. However, if she knew exactly what was going on, and say we could get a amiable bishop to make it a church matter, putting, say, these ships that hypothetically exist under church control, well, then my lady would have nothing to do with it, right? The bishop exercised church authority to deal with a spiritual matter and commanded her ships to go and do something that she did without any knowledge. It would be nearly perfect in its execution.
Okay. I mean, that sounds great. However, all you've asked about is the death of your friend. To which I've answered everything I know about it.
Our intel on Belkosis is spotty. The person you want to talk to in that regard is on their honeymoon currently. They have a description and an image of the person responsible. So if you want to know about Belkosis, you need to talk to Calypso.
But the problem is, from what I understand, it's becoming harder and harder to tell when we're talking to Calypso.
That's true, but I can't pull a face out of someone else's head.
We do know, or we knew, where that person was headed. The last destination we had for them was Hargard.
Oh. See, Jackson never knew that.
So it's possible that individual is mixed up in the conflict in the Hargard system, or really could be anywhere else. We just know they left Lemminkainen bound for Hargard.
He looks right at Gemma. Would you believe? Cracks a little smile. You believe that you can keep Calypso focused?
I don't know if I believe I can. I hope I can. But I can't get where I need to go without her, so I'm kind of stuck.
And should at any point it not be Calypso looking back at you?
would do my best to get Calypso to be the one looking back at me.
Can you secure Bishop's?
I'm sure we can ask
Oversight.
nicely.
We can ask. I'm not sure where the bishop would stand on bending the truth in the intent of what we're doing to cover tracks, but we can
Is
ask.
there not clear evidence of demonic forces moving about in opposition to the path that you walk?
Clear
think-
enough.
Honestly, I think there's evidence. I don't know if it's irrefutable. At this point, it's our word against the word of others. And I know that we rank highly, but we can ask.
Go and ask. Should you get his approval, get him to issue the orders with the seal of his office, you will find you are not the only ones going through that jump gate with you.
So I guess my question is, Francesco, we're not planning on going through the main jump gate. So would Figure Ace forces be going through the main jump gate as a diversion, or would they be coming along with us as support?
My lady will not put her ships into a black hole, but she will extract a toll from those of you enemies who would try to stop you.
Okay.
She sounds a lot smarter than we are.
Well, there's a reason that I work for her, not for you.
Oh, I thought it was just because you met her first.
She probably pays more too.
Oh, yeah.
There is that. Hence the several duchies that I will never be able to actually retire and enjoy.
Francisco, what have your ears heard about what's meeting us on the other side of the jump gate?
Ever since you kicked that rock nest on Byzantium Sagudnus, there have been, you know, those old vids where someone would light a trail of powder that would snake through to reach some explosive device, dead cord, or whatever was done during that party on Byzantium Secundus. The Inquisitors set alight many paths and been chasing down many leads. Many they discovered on themselves, many that happened to fall into their laps from a concerned citizen who will bear no, you see, kind of scratches, will bear no taint of demonic influence in the realms of men. Pancreator frowns at such things, yes?
Is he implying he has demonic influence?
Sense him. Use your saintly powers. Saint
I
Gemma.
There are many who are now fleeing from the inquisitorial tribunals. No one expected them.
No one inspects the Inquisition. Francesco, what can you tell us about the ambush of the Inquisition?
They are ambushing the cult.
No, someone ambushed the Inquisition and murdered members of the Inquisition.
You're missing 6 Inquisitors.
I'm not missing any inquisitors. I do not belong to the Inquisition. But the thing is, you kick over enough hornets' nests, eventually you get stuck. They were far more reckless than I would have been in their situation. Those 6 that have gone missing have prepared the way for others to escape. Little birds whispering here and there. I've tried to aid where I'm able. But, well, to you it may seem like my reach is omnipresent. It is sadly not. I can help those that work on Lemminkainen. I can help those that I have in the Imperial capital, but those out on the edge or on other planets. There's only, despite her requests, there is only so much one spy master can do. But those who wait for you around Milan Station, or I should say where it was at, those are the ones who have gone to ground, so to speak. They prepare for conflict, confrontation. Or they just prepare to stay in that system, know whatever comes through the jump gate straight to hell. I do not know, but you have a secret way in. Knife road, perhaps, still goes through the same jump gate. You will need a force to punch a way open for you. I know that there is a order cruiser hiding in the data shadows along the rim, where the sensors don't quite pick it up. Very sneaky, far cleverer than I gave your order credit for. There were some of us when we were younger, but that is neither here nor there. I would not see you go through alone. But I am neither a captain of a cruiser, nor a duchess of a planet who can choose to throw in. At the end of the day, however much my heart sides with you, my loyalty is to my lady. You can provide her the necessary paper shields she needs. She is willing to aid you.
So if we go talk to the bishop, get the papers, we're good to go.
You are planning to assault a fortified position for the express purpose to fly into a black hole, and I assume do something equally stupid after that. So good to go may not be the word I would use, but the way will be open.
Francesco, I noticed you twitched when you talked about demons. Are you in league with demons, or are you opposed to demons?
That is the bluntness that I have come to expect from the Battle Order. All of the subtlety of a ship accelerating to ramming speed. No, I have no... The funny thing about being a spy master is one does not find a career path at university for such things. Such a role is a accretion of life experiences, usually experiences, as Val most likely knows, that heighten one's innate skepticism and distrust. I was not always a spy master. In fact, I was once a acolyte for the Earth Orthodox order. But things happen. Corruption is ever present. And what can seem like the light can very quickly turn to darkness if one is not willing to make and it's right at you, Gemma. The hard decisions to allow someone with these proclivities to live past a certain point. No matter how one feels about them, can only lead to more hurt and others lying in their wake. This is a mistake I made once. It's not a mistake I wish anyone else to make.
I just needed to ask because it just feels like they're everywhere right now, and I don't really want to bank on your plan and then it'd be like, surprise, I'm actually a demon.
You are currently sitting in an abandoned hotel that you came to willingly, in the middle of an abandoned part of the city. If I was in league with a demon or the cult of the abandoned, I would just bring the building down on top of all of us right now.
Yay, you're not. Okay, cool.
Perhaps with a clap. This is why you don't took explosives up the clappers.
Ooh, that's a good point.
If
Really
I were in league with demons, do you not think that I would have had plenty of chances over the last year to end your interference? Would I have aided you on Lemminkainen at Haderin's Wall, or would I have just allowed what would have happened to happen?
Maybe. But maybe the cruelest thing you could do would be to help us until the bitter end and then rip the rug out from underneath us. So I figured I would just ask.
You.
Well, I do come off as a mastermind. You may have been watching too many hollow vids, Gemma. Those kind of complicated plans always fall apart. They never work out. The quickest and surest way to end a threat, as I'm sure that would attest to, is a bullet through the head or a sword to the neck.
Guess you won't mind if we take a look at your hands then? Any lingering burn marks on his hands anywhere?
There are not. They are, in fact, pristine. Not a callus among them. Very well manicured.
Is it that
Big,
fake
heavy
skin
set
stuff?
gold ring with a hawk carved into it.
He said he was wiping blood off of his hands when we got here. So Gemma's
Yes.
just gonna ask him whose blood he was wiping off his hands.
Oh. Well, that is a sort of a sticky question, if you will pardon the expression.
Ha.
There are those, even in the cathedral here, who have, let's just say that a distasteful part of my duties since I got here has been to review footage of everyone in the cathedral to ensure that none of them possess any sort of cultic markings. I did find one, and he had a plan to poison the wells of the church with a little bit of that husk
Ugh.
serum.
So it wasn't the nonagenarian then?
No.
Great.
No, he was on Lemminkainen, not here. Meanwhile, on Lemminkainen, and then she came down and she let me talk about book bindings. How the glue, and he just continues to go on. Like he's still telling that same story. And someday, if you become a guardian of the vaults and the archives, you too may have a discussion with a beautiful woman. And everyone in the audience has rapt attention.
Okay. So, what?
He is indisposed at the moment. He has answered all of my questions, and we have recovered the husk virus, and I did not see any reason to continue to let him live. Again, you deal with demons. There is one way out.
Okay. I mean, I know I'm not the smartest one in the room, but you don't have to hit me over the head with it. So one last.
You are a blunt instrument. I thought I would be blunt in return.
Well, I mean, returning that bluntness. You said Marco the cultist. Do you mind showing me what you were scratching earlier on your chest?
An old wound. Not a mark of the abandoned.
Let me guess. Has to do with a mistake you don't want to repeat?
Very good, Val. We all have things from our past that haunt us.
Oh, okay.
And if I'm going to do that, then we will return to Val's eloquent, equanimity among friends. I will show you mine, I believe is how the saying starts.
Jimbo discovers Jex's eyes.
Stop it!
I mean, if I'll show you my scars, but we'll be here for another 45 minutes to an hour.
Do we have an accord?
As much as we can. I can't guarantee the bishop will agree, but as much as we can.
Yes.
Very well. He will smile and shake your hand.
Yes.
Does his hand feel real? Or does it feel like synth skin?
It feels real.
So think about thin skin, though.
Yeah, it feels real.
Val, a moment, if you will.
All right. I'll stay back.
I'm gonna go look for Perpetua. She was on the shuttle with us. Where'd she go?
She's just hanging out outside.
Okay.
Yeah. Rook Cat gets a weird point, just saying. Your friends, your crewmates, maybe not Frank, but the rest of them, they're good people.
More or less.
You and I, we are not.
Not so much.
There are times when good people out of the goodness in their hearts make bad decisions. It is up for us, the bad people of the world, to ensure those bad decisions do not affect others.
You don't have to talk around the point with me.
Your captain has been acting strangely, yes?
It's one way to put it.
Here's the thing. 3 is a magic number. All the old stories. In the Omega Gospels, out of 3, symbolic. I do not know how many times Gemma has tried to save Calypso. But I know her heart.
Always wants more.
I used to be just like her.
Sometimes doesn't work out that way.
Just make sure. The 3rd time, the door is closed.
That's why there are people like you and I in the world. And the good people can't do what they have to.
We live in a fallen world. I know this better than anyone. It's not a perfect world as it was intended. There are beings, though. There are people of such wonder that when you look at them, you can almost see heaven through their eyes. Gemma, she is one of these people. She shines in the darkness like no one else I have ever met. Except for that airport, and his hair is just... But we had no time to speak of this. Sometimes scapegoats are required to bear the sins for the people. I will be praying in what little way I have left. That is not the case. The young man in me who remembers the vows of his order will pray for you, your friends, especially for Calypso. The older man in me always has a plan B.
Got my plan B right here. And I'll just kind of put a hand on my gun.
Very well. I will await your squawk. You let me know. And I will be ready.
We'll let you know. We appreciate the hypothetical help.
Of course, it's all in theory at this point, yes? However, I will say, be gentle with Bishop Charles. He's another man whose heaven's light shines out through his eyes.
Yeah. See you around.
All right. Gregor and Calypso comes back, but that was a waste of time. There was no trampolines, nothing to bounce on here.
Worst vacation ever.
Right?
Why?
In that beach. That beach one was wonderful. Where to now? Val comes walking out of the room.
Trampolines?
He's... Was that Francesco? Pretty sure my dad knew him.
Yeah.
What's he doing here?
Believe it or not, he's here to help, hypothetically speaking.
Francesco just closes the doors. Yeah, that seems about right.
In Maddie's head, Gemma yells back to Francesco that she'll get him Ercol's number, but that doesn't actually happen.
Don't worry. Chex will. Chex is all about love.
All right. So where to?
Guess back to the bishop.
Yeah.
All right.
And let me know when Ercol's around. I have a question for him.
Oh, go ahead.
Jam, as we're heading back to the cathedral, do we see the communication station that we fried last time? Has that been repaired? After
That one has not.
we
Like
got-
you could ask the driver to take you by that.
I was just wondering because we got it hit with a lot of lightning. I didn't know if they repaired
We
it.
didn't do that. He did that while he was like strapped to it. I was all on that.
Okay, cool. Just okay. I guess back to the cathedral then.
Yep.
All right. You arrive very quickly back at the cathedral. You can see there are still people moving about. Everything the bishop has kind of let you know what's going on. In fact, Cannons Sarah and Sam kind of greet you. Ah, Gemma, Jexa.
Hello. This is Val. This is Perpetua. That's Calypso.
Thank you so much. The bishop wanted me to let you know that rooms have been prepared for you if you plan on staying.
Ooh, lovely.
And what can we do for you? I have been told to tell you that the Watcher in the Sky is ready to move at your convenience.
Oh,
Oh no, they're on their way. Never mind. Just wondering where. What, Virgil? I almost said Victor. They're on their way to Milan, correct?
mhm.
Okay. Then Gemma will ask for an audience with Bishop Charles.
Okay.
And in the meantime, we'll probably spend time when we were here years ago for us, months ago for the crew. I can't remember. Was Gemma able to find some kind of iconography for Beatrice in the cathedral?
I don't believe so, no. But Bishop Charles understood more than he was willing to say, if that makes sense.
Okay. Oh, can she go and see if the candle that she lit has been replaced or if it's still
Sure.
there? Okay.
All right, so while Gemma's doing that, Jexa, Val, what are you guys doing?
Feeling unneeded.
I need you.
I mean, I know you do. But, I mean, Jexa will kind of just wander off, maybe go and work on the Oh Boii, make sure everything's up to snuff. Yeah, she doesn't have any plans. I mean, she sent all of her messages out, and so she's just kind of waiting. She's in a weird limbo. She really doesn't know how to handle it, and so she's gonna go tinker.
Okay. Val?
I'm gonna take Gregor off to the side if I can detach him from his new wife for a few seconds.
Sure. Calypso will.
Are they still tied together from their wedding? I've just pictured them like with their wrists tied together this whole time.
Gregor's definitely trailing it. Jebba said she'd tell me when I should take it off, and so it's still hanging on the wrist.
I think you're probably safe to take that off now.
Listen, Val, we go back, and you are my oldest friend.
Mm-hmm.
Gemma is my newest friend. She
Mm-hmm.
definitely said not to take it off until she told me, so...
Okay. Do what makes you happy, buddy.
What's up?
Just, sorry, let me get the cat face out of my camera.
It's fine, the cat was, not happy that you were... It's very clear. I saw the glare.
You doing okay, Gregor?
I mean, I'm married. Never
Well,
thought that would happen.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure the crushing weight of emotional trauma from losing my dad like that will eventually
Buddy.
just sort of hit me. But right now, what I do is we got to get through this whole Milan Station thing. So I just, every time that rises up, I just push it way back down.
Oh, buddy.
Because I don't think I could go through with it if I actually stopped to think about it.
Yeah. Well,
So,
it's just,
dumb? Yeah. Okay, not so much.
when you come out the other side of this, you're going to need to talk to somebody about that.
Well, yeah,
You know
I
that,
assumed
right?
I assumed it would be like you and Jebba. Clips is not very good at this kind of thing. So, figure we'll go back, give Dad a proper funeral, and get drunk till all the emotions come out.
I recommend gin.
Let's do that. Just,
Right.
take care of yourself, please.
Yeah, you too, Val. We've done some pretty crazy stuff. Like that one time with the air car, but this is probably by far the dumbest thing I've ever done. Seeing as all those other dumb have this theory. It's the theory of stupid immunity. Basically, the dumber the thing we do, the more likely we are to survive. So, flying into a black hole should be okay,
Absolutely.
right? What's the worst that could happen?
I'm not going to answer that. The worst that can happen is we fly out the other side and get drunk.
Right, exactly. Not thinking.
I'm going to give him a hug, whether he
Okay.
wants one or not.
Yep.
I'm just going to...
Like a tremor kind of
Hug.
runs through him, and he's like, yeah, no, like, this was always his thing. If he can't see it through, And he kind of looks around to make sure Calypso isn't anywhere near him. The greater, I'm going to see it through.
You know he's proud of you, right?
Nah.
He always was.
Yeah, well, it was before I left for the Engineers Guild. Became a pirate.
I've learned recently that seems like no matter what you do, your parents are always proud. And I know that was true for him.
Yeah, so I'm gonna need like just a minute to kind of,
Yeah, I know.
yeah,
Hey, Gregor,
now,
love you, buddy.
I love you too.
Now take those emotions and stomp them into the dirt.
That's right. So as you are tinkering, Jexa, Lucia comes in. I used to do that too. Night before a big raid. Couldn't sleep. Always had to take something apart, put it back together. Done that with every gun I've brought aboard and several of Calypso's that she's left lying about.
You want to do it to my womp gun?
No, dear. That's your gun. I just came in to see if you needed to talk to someone. Gregor and Calypso are off doing each other. And Jaxa is, or Gemma is, I assume, praying, and Val is,
Val.
I assume, whetting some knives somewhere to make sure they're extra sharp. So I wanted to see how you were doing. Call it mother's prerogative. Even, let's call it...
Nana's prerogative?
I told you if you called me Nana again, it'd be the last thing you said. So I would just remind you
Sorry.
that is a big no-no.
Okay.
But let's call it a mature parent's prerogative.
3 moms!
Thanks. What am I supposed to feel in this moment?
I feel like I need to give Evan a weird point for wordplay. Oh, well, here's the thing. A grandparent's job isn't to tell you what to do or how to do something. Grandparents' job is to spoil. So, what are you feeling?
Sorry, what was that?
No, she stopped as soon as you started talking.
and then Jaxa stops and goes, I'm sorry, what was that?
Continue.
I mean, if you have something to say, like, you can say it.
I'm here to listen.
But you're really good at talking. I'm not so good. Well, I guess I think I'm feeling the same things that anyone who is looking at doing something suicidally stupid would feel, and deciding to continue with it. Kind of sitting here praying that Beatrice is right and we're going to be at the right spot at the right time, like we kind of miraculously have been for every other stop we've had. I mean, the math doesn't work out to survive, so figure that's gonna be an act of the pan creator.
You don't have to come.
Yeah, because anybody else know how to work that thing?
Do you?
I know pieces.
Can you explain them?
Sure. You want to take my place? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Oh, I'm going anyway, dear.
Why are you going? Because it seems like you'd rather be elsewhere.
Oh, I would. I would much rather be hunting down Here's the thing about love, Jexa.
Sure.
Love is a virus. You can do everything you can to keep it away. Close yourself off, wall yourself behind personas and masks and push everyone else away. And then one day you find yourself infected by love. Oh, you can deny it. You can take medications for it. You can numb it with alcohol. You can drown it in disposable lovers. You can leave a bloody swath of bodies behind you. But the problem is that once it's in your system, it never really gets out. And like any virus, it changes you. It replicates deep down inside you until you are not the person you once were. You're some amalgam of that and the infection and how it has changed you. And so I'm here instead of hunting down the killer of the man I loved. 2 reasons, both of them viral. He wouldn't want me to be the person I was because my children are here. And I love them. And I suppose by extension, that includes you. And so if the only family I have left in this world is going on a mission to make my lover's dream a reality, then I suppose who I was will have to wait.
That's a good reason.
Now the question is, why am I not about to tase you and throw you off the ship and tie you up somewhere so that you actually survive this cockamamie plan? And she actually pulls out a taser.
Yeah, no. Don't worry. Jackson read that with the complete sincerity that Lucia was giving her. And kind of freezes and gets really wide-eyed. There is a reason, I'm sure. Beatrice, Saint Beatrice, has said that I'm supposed to be here.
that is a reason,
Yeah.
but not a reason good enough for me not to. And she pulls out of her other pocket a bunch of like plastic steel ties.
I definitely like scoot back only to realize I've like crammed myself into one of like the small dead end like areas and there's actually nowhere to run. I mean, you kind of said some of it. I met everybody on Milan Station. Like Gemma saved me on Milan Station. And going back and being with her and with Calypso, and now with Val and Perpetua and you and Gregor, like it brings everything around into a circle. And if that's the way the Pancreator works in such a circular, cyclical fashion, it's where I'm supposed to be.
She clicks the taser one more time.
and Jackson just kind of braces herself and is like, oh no!
That's a good answer. You know what? I haven't done that since my last raid. And it felt good to get back into the old routine.
The interrogation routine?
No, the why are you doing this routine?
Oh, okay.
Come up with a good reason you shouldn't be on the ship.
I did come up with a good reason why I should be on the ship? I mean, of course I have a good reason why I should be on the ship. Huh.
Assuming we survive this, dear, I'll spoil you rotten and teach you to be a pirate princess.
Oh, good. So wait, speaking of lovers, can we go back like 5 minutes? I have some questions. The first is, what do you do when the first guy you loved shows up unexpectedly after thinking you forgot about him for 90 years and meets your new boyfriend?
And that's usually why you have extra frag grenades, but here's the thing. If you want to keep both of them, Gemma, your candle is still there. It's been replaced, and in fact, it looks like it's been replaced multiple times because the wax has kind of built up around it. Yes, I've been keeping that one lit for you. Bishop Charles kind of comes in.
I appreciate that. In the battle order, they try to make things very black and white. And they tell us that that's the purpose that we are to serve. We are arbiters of the right and the wrong. And for a long time I was comfortable with that because I needed to be comfortable with that. But since I have left and started on this journey, I am finding that the world lives in shades of gray. I don't know what they teach you as a bishop, but I'm hoping you have a little bit of room for some gray in your understanding of the world.
Here's the thing about shades of gray. There are some things that we cleave to because we believe they are true. are some things we cleave to because we hope they are true. The battle order needs to see things black and white, good and evil, orthodoxy and heresy, because that is all that a weapon needs: a hand to wield it and a target for it to be wielded at. But some people forget. Doubt is not the opposite of faith. We cannot know, so we believe. Therefore, doubt is a part of our faith. When I was younger, I enjoyed all of the hellfire, stellar destruction verses from the Omega Gospels. And now in my old age, my favorite verse from the Gospels is the man who spoke with Zebulun and said, "I do believe. Help my unbelief." As the bishop of an Earth Orthodox cathedral, I identify more and more with that man every day.
I know that feeling. It's one thing when you are anointed as an instrument and seek to live into that purpose. It's another when that calling has you looking in the eyes of another person. It's one thing to end a husk. There's little redeemable left in it. It's another when it's a person who has simply made a poor choice.
Are you worried that you will have to end a person?
I worry about that every time I put on this armor.
Don't you live in that armor? Does that mitigate the number of times you have to worry about that?
She bathes, guys. It's I worry about it, yes, but it is something that has followed me around since I was ordained into this calling. I just don't always have time to stop and think about it. I believe what we started on that place was the right thing to do. But I worry about the implications and the ways that it is coming to roost. And so I have something to ask of you, knowing full well that it is well within your rights and responsibilities to refuse. But it is definitely one of those things that lies within the gray.
Your sword has been blessed. Yes, I assume.
Yes.
Do you know why we bless the weapons and the armor, the battle order? Some, and he kind of points to the outer walls of the cathedral, assume that it is to better aid them. Blessed blade strikes truer, the blessed armor turns the bullet, as the sayings go in the dramas. But do you go to the old ways? And because there are probably, especially those among certain orders who see things in the same black and white you were speaking of. But the origin of that tradition is to protect you, not your flesh, your arm, but your soul. To help you bear the weight of the murder you do to protect the rest of us. Those wounds are not ones that are easily set aside. All that to say, if I may be a blessing to you today, speak your request and let me be the one to bear the burden.
Is there anybody else around?
Nope.
Great. We have a means of safe passage to our end, but there is the need for obfuscation of the origin of said aid. And if it were declared a necessary means to a necessary end to carry out the will of Zebulon, it would go better. And I mean, I honestly believe that I have to believe that we are working towards an end that the Pain Creator would bless.
I have seen the changes in you even since the last time we spoke. I do not believe your heart, or your will, or your reason, or your faith are in the wrong place. But I am an old man. Let us speak frankly between us. How can I be of aid?
We need you to requisition aid from House Hawkwood so that they do not bear the brunt of breaking the Pax Alexi.
Because if a bishop of the church were to order them to aid you, it would fall under church sanction and not noble sanction.
Correct.
And what aid is it that you would have me request, and for what reason?
We would request the support of House Hawkwood to determine the activities of House Decados and Al Malik. What was there a third one? Hazat. At the previous known coordinates of Milan Station.
For the church to be involved, I would have to have it on good authority that these people were doing it in specific opposition to the rules and the canon law of the church. Do you, as a ordained member of the church, believe this is so?
I believe, and I have intel, that these houses have been working to undermine the holy mission of the church by impersonating inquisitors, by seeking to destroy church relics. What's the third one?
Just destroy church relics, the Hadrian's Wall.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and kidnapping people.
Oh, and the kidnapping of innocent
And if you have intel, and you have belief, I assume you also have someone I would speak with.
Yes. I can provide you with the comm for an agent of the Duchess of Hawkwood, or I could provide you with direct contact with the Duchess of Hawkwood. Or are you looking for someone to talk to you about the proof? Because it's also kind of the same person.
I would speak with this agent who can provide proof, and can provide the necessary things that I would require. If you can provide me that, I will go speak with him in the rectory.
Okay. I don't have as much proof of this one, but I would ask your prayers. I have strong reason to believe that I'm blanking on his name.
Francesco?
Nope.
Belkosis?
Yep, it's Belkosis.
Van Dorm?
Yep, Van Dorm of Lemminkainen was murdered by a creature that dwells in the darkness between the stars.
Oh,
And
you believe these people are connected to that as well?
yes. The creature was last seen fleeing in the direction of the inner house conflict currently taking place in the Hargard system.
I have not heard about that, but I will speak with your friend.
Thank you, Bishop. Your help is appreciated and your prayers are coveted.
They will be yours as often as I draw breath until you return safely, Gemma.
And Father, I would ask that you take care who you allow into your inner circle, as we have learned the agents of this plot are everywhere. And I would hate to see harm come to you for aiding us in this.
Before you go, and he kind of reaches into the pouch at his side of his robes and he pulls out a small, you can smell the fragrance almost immediately. I think you might need this. And he puts a small alabaster jar of anointing oil in your hand. I do not know what path the Pancreator has for you, but this is my oil for providing the holy unction, and I would see it in your hand should you need it. You may return it to me the next time we speak.
Thank you for your gift.
All right. So, several days later.
If it is several days, Jaxa would go to the church to pray to Beatrice.
You can do that on the ship because I'm going to finish my sentence.
Right.
Several days later, you find yourself at the front of the jump gate. The Imperial Favor on the right, 6 battle cruisers from House Hawkwood moving in front of you, kind of providing a cordon around you because under orders from Bishop Charles of the Cathedral on Ravenna, the Cathedral of St. Maximilian. Those ships in system belonging to House Hawkwood have been placed under the Orthodox control. And as you wait, the jump gate sparks to life, all of the ships in front of you being reflected on the other side. Any prayers you wish to say to Beatrice, Jexa, can be done on the ship as you were heading there.
Okay.
Is there anything specific you wanted to say?
Well, it was more of the Gemma discussing how to get a demon out of Jexa, and Jexa going and talking in the church about it, but prayers to Beatrice, just that Beatrice would protect them all, would be the general gist.
Okay. And that's where we will pause as the fleet prepares to go through the jump gate. We will be back in 1 week with the penultimate episode of the Fading Suns campaign, Crew of the Oh Boii. Thank you all, as always, for joining us on this journey. Occam's Razor, good to see you. Phantom, Oz, I always appreciate the Becca fan club cheering every episode. Evan, good to see you as well. Check out all the other great shows that Ulysses has. Speaking of, we are having a holiday special on Tuesday night with the Torg game, The Stupidest Drone, a spine-tingling tale of holiday horror and cheer. If you did not catch the end of the Horseman game, it was the most crazy go nuts thing I've ever attempted on the channel. So I would definitely go and check that out. And as always, to my crew, I appreciate you all. Thank you for joining me on this journey that has been 3.5 years in the making. Starting again with Becca, Abby, and I sitting on the floor of the studio. We didn't have tables, we didn't have cameras, we had a room that we were going to turn into the studio. And then Maddie joined and Alex joined. Thank you guys for joining. As always, thank you to my wonderful producer, juggling everything behind the scenes. JD, you were awesome. Thank you to Phantom of Truth, the community manager for Ulysses, as well as the moderator on our shows. Until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, stay gaming, and we will see you in 1 week. Have a good one.